their service provider focusing on data center.
As the world's leading ICT infrastructure provider, Huawei is continuing to be a fully optical and intelligent internet by providing connectivity and data center infrastructure solutions.
The fiber to the X have become the mainstream access technologies.
At the FTTH Council, we are convinced that full fiber is the most...
The other thing I'd like to consider is, as this industry builds networks,
we have learned about Huawei's leadership.
This blade OLT,
the coverage, transmission rate, the length rate
are all
Welcome to the brand new internet world.
So in this market, we do see their service provider focusing on data center.
As the world's leading ICT infrastructure provider, Huawei is continuing to be a fully optical and intelligent internet by providing connectivity and data center infrastructure solutions.
The fiber to the X have become the mainstream access technologies.
At the FTTH Council, we are convinced that full fiber is the most...
the other thing I'd like to consider is, as this industry builds networks,
We have learned about Huawei's leadership.
this blade OLT,
the coverage, transmission rate, the length rate
are all
Welcome to the brand new internet world.
So in this market, we do see their service provider focusing on data center.
As the world's leading ICT infrastructure provider, Huawei is continuing to be a fully optical and intelligent internet by providing connectivity and data center infrastructure solutions.
The fiber to the X have become the mainstream access technologies.
At the FTTH Council, we are convinced that full fiber is the most...
the other thing I'd like to consider is, as this industry builds networks,
We have learned about Huawei's leadership.
this blade OLT,
the coverage, transmission rate, the length rate
are all
Welcome to the brand new internet world.
So in this market, we do see their service provider focusing on data center.
As the world's leading ICT infrastructure provider, Huawei is continuing to be a fully optical and intelligent internet by providing connectivity and data center infrastructure solutions.
The fiber to the X have become the mainstream access technologies.
At the FTTH Council, we are convinced that full fiber is the most...
the other thing I'd like to consider is, as this industry builds networks,
We have learned about Huawei's leadership.
this blade OLT,
the coverage, transmission rate, the length rate
are all
Welcome to the brand new internet world.
So in this market, we do see their service provider focusing on data center.
world's leading ICT infrastructure provider, Huawei is continuing to be a fully optical and intelligent internet by providing connectivity and data center infrastructure solutions.
The fiber to the X have become the mainstream access technologies.
At the FTTH Council, we are convinced that full fiber is the most...
The other thing I'd like to consider is, as this industry builds networks,
We have learned about Huawei's leadership in the
Displayed OLT,
The coverage, transmission rate, the length rate,
are all these.
Welcome to the brand new internet world.
So in this market, we do see their service provider focusing on data center.
As the world's leading ICT infrastructure provider, Huawei is continuing to be a fully optical and intelligent internet by providing connectivity and data center infrastructure solutions.
The fiber to the X have become the mainstream access technologies.
At the FTTH Council, we are convinced that full fiber is the most...
the other thing
Hi everyone, my name is Marit van Boheem and I'm your host for today. And I thank you for your continued attention to Huawei's EcoConnect Europe 2021. As the digital transformation of the industry accelerates, the gigabit broadband connections become a basic foundation, and to-be transformation of customers in the internet service industry is imperative. Before we start, I would like to introduce the rules of Lucky Draw. Please fill in the survey and know that we have a very nice prize. We have 4 Huawei FreeBuds 4i as the prizes. And at the end of the session we will select 4 audience members who filled in the survey and they will win. Huawei provides the all-optical solution to help ISP customers to quickly transform their services, enable industry digitization and meet the increasing ICT managed service requirements of end users. To get us started, Richard Pimper, the Vice President ISP Industry of the Western European region, is going to bring us his presentation with the title Building a Fully Optical Intelligent Internet.
Welcome everybody, my name is Richard Pimper, VP of ISP Business Enterprise Western Europe, and I want to show you the building a fully optical and intelligence internet. What does it mean? As you already know that the objective for 2025 from the EU, there are really big step forward for all of us. At the moment, the gigabit society and gigabit connectivity prove for all countries to do more and more connectivity on fiber, because it's much cost effective and saving costs and saving lots of power costs, OPEX and CAPEX. You can see in the right side a household penetration with fiber connectivity in Western Europe, which is below 26% roughly. And that's the target for end of this year. The target is basically that each and every household has at least 100 megabit connectivity for all European households. The trend is there, so it's very important for us. What Huawei can bring to the table to make this happen. So our internet access towards all optical, we are covering everything, fully fiber. All optical WAN, 100, 200, 400, 600G, and also the optical home, fiber to home, and also fiber to campus, all optical campus. So it's a complete solution from A to B, A to Z for all of those enterprises and households. The service demand and challenges of FTTH construction. This is a typical and very important question. So first of all, as you know, the service demand for the higher definition 8K, 4K is more than 200 megabits, and in some cases 1,000. Of course, the cloud access and cloudification and latency is a big issue. So here is the less than 20 milliseconds is the limit, let's say. And the other one is the raw paying, so we are everything, the interactive, it's 0.1% packet loss, at least. So, and the other part, the challenges. So the challenges is coming from basically three different things. First of all, the site acquisition, and is sometimes insufficient and not easy to manage. Of course, the other problem is the insufficient skilled engineers and long distance, 5 to 10 kilometers or 20 for ODNs, and is not easy to manage. And the other one is and from investment point of view is most critical, is the return of investment, which is above 6 years. So that means the TCO is really high, and it's not affordable. What can we do? Why the fiber is important? So all optical network is the most energy saving ICT technology. Why? You can see in the middle of these slides, this coming from the German Ministry of Environment and Nature. If we compare it 3G, 4G, or even VDSL to fibers, even VDSL and fiber has less than 50% consumption. So it means, for example, when you have a 1 hour HD video transmission from a data center to your sites, is only 2 grams of CO2 emitted in FTTH network. This is very, very important. If we see the whole traffic in Europe-wise, is the traffic 90% is coming from the fixed networks. It's roughly 200 gigabyte per user per month, compared to 5 gigabyte per user per month mobile connection. So it means that 90% is coming from fiber. Telefonica has a really interesting solution. You can see it in the picture. The Telefonica is the right one, sorry. So Telefonica pointed out that Fiber or copper cable network and migrate to all optical network in every level. They calculated they achieve about 60% absolute energy saving, which is compared to the previous one is a huge amount of money every month, every year. What is the Huawei solution, which is important for the future? We call it liquid OTN, monetizing bandwidth. This technology enables from 2 megabits on VDM until up to 200 as well. So the system which we are using today, it's around 40,000 large and very large enterprise, which is roughly 90% of the city they want to use. And with liquid OTN technology, we can use the same like fiber for the small and medium size. There is no need for big investment. And starting from 2 megabit, which is, I think, very important. Base step, hitless adjustment, VVS service, and zero bandwidth based. And here I want to underline, this is a Huawei technology, which is very important. The result of this, the waste and low ROI is coming, and 90% of the market can use this technology after all. One of the most important topics for this event is the green and sustainability. So when we're talking about green band, all optical switching, OXS saving space, reducing power consumptions, this is one of the critical things. In the left side, you can see how a traditional equipment or telco room looks like. Huge, very big, different room for air conditioning, different room for patching, and different room for sub-racks and fiber connection. Today, in the right side, we can offer really high level equipment room, which is saving space up to 60% and energy consumption 45%. What does it mean? So 12 core sites saving 250,000 kilowatt hour per year, which is equivalent to 2,000 trees. This is coming from Schön Technologies complete study, which is a real based. If we're talking about the green one, what does it mean for us, for households, for privates? So the green home, the fiber in and copper out, this bring eco-friendly architecture and saving lots of costs. So if you see the FTTH, what we can offer, so the CO and OLT and all the optical cable up to the house, up to your set box, and instead of the old technology, the copper cable, the DSL or coaxial DOAC cables, there are different routers, street box needed, very big, and using lots of power to generating the connection between the data center and the households. So the FTTG PON gigabit passive optical cable, optical network ODN, optical distribution network, of course, and in the future, if you see the right side of my slides, this is the ideal choice. Why? Because there is no power needed basically. The energy saving is 60 to 75%. It depends what kind of technology you used before. And 1,500 kilowatt hours saved per day, which is an amazing number. And compared to 1,000 or 10,000, 100,000 households is a very big amount every year. The other thing which is important from Huawei technology, the intelligent distributed OLT platform. This is basically a green designed on-demand evolution, which is really important. What does it mean? So the evolution basically has two parts. First of all, the modular device support 4-level power consumption adjustment, reducing power consumption roughly 43%. There are, you see in my slide, the standard, basic, deep, and optimal level. So the optimal is a dynamic adjustment on the operating frequency also. And the other one, which is very important, the FlexPort board technology is saving 60% space, which is one of the critical issue next to the saving cost. This is basically a multi-mode integration, saving this, as I mentioned, 60%, and optical module doubling the density. So it's very important. The optimal energy consumption and minimal deployment in space. This means that we have the MA5800 X17 and X6. It's also reduced the cost of the previous one. And this is really amazing, 43%. The next topic, which when we cover the innovative FTTH architecture achievement green connection in homes. So this one, it's basically what I showed before, that when we change the existing fiber or the copper or coaxial cable to fiber, and the lifetime and of course the power consumption is less and less. So this is OPEX CAPEX ratio is very important. We have a raw technology which we can use inside fiber FTTH networking. So the primary ONT plus fiber and 3 secondary ONT as a slave device. So this is a technology that exists available. Each OTN saves roughly 38 kilowatt hour power each year compared to a traditional router network. So you can calculate how much does it mean in terms of euros, dollars. The other technology which is very important, the EAI-enabled smart ONT device, which is creating the new blue ocean market. What are the really interesting topic here? So this is the first industry AI identification and 3-level service acceleration OTN. That's why we call it smart OTN. First of all, it has VR and game service integration, acceleration engine, The second one, the SoC chips acceleration, which is 100% hardware-based forwarding capabilities. And last but not least, one of the most important topic is the Wi-Fi air interface accelerating engine. Here is the bandwidth slicing technology for VR, gaming, and internet access services. Those are the really important levels from the services. And if you see the shifting from bandwidth monetization to experience monetization, here we have basically one more wall penetration, one less home visits, which is interesting, one more tree plants. So we APM integrated sleep mode. That's why we save lots of energy. And of course, the VR gaming acceleration also. The other technology, which we call the Green Campus, enabling all optical campus and reducing carbon emissions 60%. This basically coming from a very innovative architecture design, 3 layers to 2 layers, active to passive. So if you see the left side, the traditional Ethernet system, and the right side, the all optical system, it means there is no Ethernet cable inside the campus. It's an amazing achievement compared to the cabling space, cable weight, power consumption, and equipment room. So if you see cable weight and AVL equipment room, there is 90% less in case of all optical, 60% for the power consumption, which is, I think, very important. And of course, in an existing and in a new build in the cabling space is also 80%. So this is an amazing achievement. So compared to concrete figures, is 42K kilowatt hour per year, 26.5 kilograms carbon emission. And this also, in my previous slide, you see, it's equivalent more than 1,000 trees. And I'm talking about only one small campus. What is the next step regarding the data center architecture, and what are the next steps? So everybody hears the technology called multi-cloud. So all the enterprise cloud strategies, when asked them by RightScale, those companies are more than 1,000 employees. So 3% there is no plan, 3% single private, 10% single public, and 84% multi-cloud. If you do the same exercise 10 years ago, it would totally different amount. And why is it important for us? Because multi-cloud, it's in MTDC technologies, the colocation service for public cloud, sort of colocation service for enterprise cloud, and have enterprise to move the cloud quickly. All the assessment, the migration, and deployment is very simple and easy, and managed by professionals. So that's why the future, what we thought, is amazingly the multi-cloud. The DCI required cost-effective transmission network based on this multi-cloud technology. So here is the cloud-based network architecture, which basically used by all the big boys like Amazon and all the others, hybrid cloud, and they are building the bandwidth around it. And this technology, the transmission network and the data center capacities is much lower. And because they are using a hyperscaler technology and big rooms, then the enterprise or SMB market, the cost for using these services is less. This is very important also for cost reduction. What about the summary of the new DCM broadband network advantage? So first of all, it's very important to see the coherent network reduce the number of regenerators, support evolution beyond 100G easily and more. Secondly, DC-centric network optimized network latency by one hop of connection, and full service provisioning and shorten the TTM, which one of the biggest question in service point of view. Elastic bandwidth adjustment quickly meets bandwidth adjustment requirement, and also the network reliability is enhanced, simple and easy for OEMs, aligned with the latest cloud era technologies, and that's mainly the big advantage of the DCM backbone networks. The other topic what I want to show today is the storage. So you remember all of you the HDD and the new SSD. So the intelligent and lossless DCM I think is the best choice in the all-flash era. So compared to the old technology, the 32G bandwidth can offer 400G super capacity rate, 10% more, 10 times more, and which is also a very important achievement. The AI achieves zero packet loss, EOPS 87%, and latency 42%. And last but not least, the open ecosystem and open Ethernet TCO is 70% lower, which based on the old technology, the high cost of private network construction, and really high level TCO, which coming from the Ethernet cables networks. Yes, the Huawei, where we are now, what we are doing. So Huawei at the moment serves more than 500 plus customers in internet service industry Western Europe. It means more than 400 ISP, 50 MTDC, 30 OTT. The global network course is 35%, and the enterprise business probably cloud in end of 2025, we think 85%. And during the last year's pandemic is put all those business on the spotlight. So as you see, the time spent online service increasing 38%, in some countries more than 50%, which is an amazing achievement and for us future goal. Huawei is cooperating with partners to accelerate fiber coverage in Europe. This is a very important topic. In the left side, you can see in the red dot the EU 24s, which is only 52%, is a very low figures. Why is important? Because the copper line technology, VDSL and GFAST, and cable network deployed, European countries generally lag behind in FTTX construction, the shows before, and all of those implementation and the policymakers need more spent here for 2025 goal achievement. This is really a kind of rural fiber remains puzzle type of game. Huawei helps the ISPs customers to build all optical network providing by optical network solution and more than 30 years experience, with one of the highest in the market. And you see some of the association numbers. We are cooperating them very, very closely, and we are building a networking together with our partner and our customer together with those association. So as you know, our vision is building a fully optical, intelligent internet. Thank you very much for your time today, and I wish you a nice event in the future. Thank you very much.
In the West European region, Spanish fiber coverage rate is in leading position. EUTEC, as the National Association of Telecommunication Operators and Internet Services, plays an important role to connect the ecosystem and move things forward. Well, let's welcome Gonzalo. He's the Executive Director of EUTEC, and he will share experiences and practices.
Good morning. First of all, I would like to thank you, Huawei, and especially Robbie One, for the opportunity to participate in this event. Secondly, I would like to give you an overview of what EUTEC is and what it represents. Local telecommunication operators were born more than 30 years ago in Spain from the hands of the historical cable, and at present they are an important asset for the digital transformation of the Spanish society. They are small and medium-sized enterprises that are distributed across the national territory. Currently, there are more than 800 companies with a high technological level, generally established in municipalities of less than 50,000 inhabitants, to which they provide internet, mobile and fixed telephony services and television content of course. The companies we represent as telecoms operators carry out a continuous technological innovation, but due to the quality of their services and a constant and fluid communication with the customers that allows an immediate response to any customer requirement, they achieve a penetration in their localities that is much higher than any other operator. And here I think it is important to mention that this would not have been possible without the support of suppliers such as Huawei, from who the beginning support companies such as those we represent at Autec, and provide us with the tools to always be at the forefront and profitable. As an association, we also have an institutional role. Autec was one of the signatories of the State Pact for the Connectivity, together with the large telecoms, representing local operators. In addition, we are part of the standing committees of the Advisory Council for Digital Transformation, a body part for dialogue between companies and the government, and where we are informed of the recovery plan. We are also present in AENOR standardization committees related to infrastructures, and we actively participate in the initiative requested by the government, such as 5G or Gaia X. When we talk about Autec, we talk about the companies that start deploying FTTH as early as 2007. So let's talk about FTTH. If we look back in time, the data provided by eDate and FTTH Council Europe shows that as of February of 2013, Asia had 79 million connections, while the US had 11.1 million, and Europe at the bottom has 7.3 million. And within Europe, Spain was among the countries lagging farthest behind. However, now with data from 2020, and as we can see in the graph, the situation has changed considerably, and several European countries are among the leaders, including Spain, which is now the third country in the world in terms of fiber optic deployments. We are a world reference with 12 million lines, and our local communication operators have undoubtedly contributed to this. We have deployed in places where we have been pioneers, although other operators have arrived later and have not been able to overshadow us. The telecommunications sector has been fundamental in COVID's time. The fact that we have been leaders in the deployment of FTTH has meant that we have been able to favor labor continuity after the migration to rural areas during the pandemic, absorbing increases of 40% in data usage without major problems. And how has this situation come about? There are several reasons, but I will focus on those that affect the local operators that Autec represents. The need to be connected, to have bandwidth to communicate, and the high probability of the telecommunication business, which is also a business with continuity, has been the first step that has encouraged the deployment of its own network, an important asset for any operator that offers the possibility of having complete control all the way to the customer's home. Free competition. Regulation by the former CMT, which has facilitated the existence of local operators, registry of operators. In addition, in 2009, the CNMC obliged Telefónica, the incumbent operator and originally a state monopoly, to share its access and distribution infrastructure. Since 2012, and especially with the 2014 law, state regulations have reduced the administrative burden, allowing some deployments by means of a responsive declaration, avoiding the building permit procedure. In addition, RD 331/2016 obliged all those with infrastructures capable of housing fiber networks to make them available to operators, with some exemptions. In Autec's opinion, one of the elements that has contributed most to the deployment of the fiber is an Article 45.4 of the current 2014 law that allows in-house owners, associations, and for this last part of the deployment that reaches the end user, that the request of a single neighbor is sufficient for it to be installed. If there are no infrastructures, the common elements of the neighbors can be used, or even the front of the building itself can be used. This regulatory change was an incentive for operators to deploy FTTH. Spain's orography allows fiber links to be available almost anywhere in our geography. As we are practically a plain, once access was achieved, local operators who have been providing services to more than 25 years and with HCE networks deployed in small and medium-sized municipalities have obtained, for the most part, a strong support from local administration to deploy distribution and connection network. The users have provided the rest, allowing the grading in their facades to provide broadband services. The fact that it can be deployed through the facade, compared to the countries that are obliged to carry out civil works, is also an important advantage, as it makes the investment considerably cheaper. The entry into the market of large suppliers with professional and quality equipment of a reasonable price has also been an important factor in enabling local operators, who generally finance their investments with their own funds. To cope with these large deployments, Huawei has been one such company and is a reference in the sector. National operators that were waiting for subsidies to deploy in the rural areas have had to keep pace with local operators in these small municipalities, and all this has meant that Spain is a highly competitive market in FTTH network. For this and other reasons, according to data from the FTTH European Council, while Spain is championship the ranking with 60.5% rural FTTH coverage in 2020, Germany has still a long way to go with only 9.8% coverage, and the US average is around 45%. And this situation of Spain in terms of FTTH deployment positions Spain and its operators in an idyllic situation for new challenges such as 5G and Gaia X, objectives in which Optical and its companies are confident that they will continue to count on partners such as Huawei to once again be our technological partner. In the case of 5G, Optical has launched a proposal to deploy local public 5G multi-operator networks in areas of lower population density. This project proposes the participation of alternative electronic communication operators in the deployment of networks so that they can reach a deployment in rural areas as soon as possible and take advantage of the significant deployment of fiber that exists throughout the national territory. With regard to Gaia X, Optical has initiated contacts with entities to start working on the creation of databases that could later be used for other sectors or customers and to lead some pilot tests promoted by the administration. We believe that we should go ahead and develop an initiative that, although initially for the operators themselves to manage their own service databases, could be the basis for the aforementioned projects. Optical believes that this initiative should be based on the creation of microcenters. The geographical distribution of the operator associated with Optical and its eminently local character can play a fundamental role in this configuration. A microhub provides the same functions, not just redundancy, as a centralized data center, and can be managed remotely, guaranteeing access without delay in less dense rural environments. That can be our differentiator in the data economy. We are confident that the Spanish telco sector will continue to be at the forefront and a world reference as we are in FTTH deployment. Thank you very much.
Managed service has been fully accepted by the majority of enterprises. Traditional ISP customers tend to enlarge business scope by providing network managed services. Daniel Collum-Kirk, Strategy VP of Carrier Partner Business Department, will introduce how Huawei could help.
Hello, my name is Dan Kirk. I am VP of Strategy in Huawei's Enterprise Division. I work with our ISP and carrier partners globally to help them develop and launch new services to their business customers. In this video, I would like to share some of the key market trends in managed services and cloud networking and introduce Huawei's Cloud Campus platform, a scalable, fully converged and highly flexible managed service solution designed for MSPs. In recent years, more and more enterprises have adopted managed service models for their networking needs, both across wide area and local area networks. This is driven by the increasing complexity of networks, the commercial flexibility of OpEx models, and the need to focus their own scarce resources on other areas of business transformation. Increasingly, these are delivered by cloud-based networking solutions. They offer more flexibility in design, management, and delivery. They also enable a wide range of new services, from application optimization to analytics of user behavior. Cloud-based networking solutions are now supporting services across sectors, from education and health to retail, finance, and manufacturing, and we believe will become the main networking model in the future. The ISP market has been fundamental to the wider move to the digital economy. Across Europe, they have enabled over 300 million users, which is almost complete consumer and business penetration. They have enabled access speeds to increase to now almost 100 megabits per second, and co-location capacity is increasing, as is public cloud capability, as more and more applications and services move to a hosted model for reasons of flexibility and resilience in delivery. ISPs are the key that links business users and applications, wherever they are hosted, to enable this wider transformation. And with the move to cloud networking, we believe their role and importance is set to grow. With the growth of the cloud and the increasing importance of data in many businesses, the requirements on the network are changing. Now, many business operations require secure and reliable connection from the cloud or other data center location direct to an end user or device. This requires connections not just across a company's WAN or the internet, but also inside the enterprise across the LAN, the wireless LAN, or IoT to connect users and data and other devices with cloud and edge computing platforms. The new models of cloud, networking, and software tools are extending the possibilities for management of these new networks. By using these platforms to bring together previously separate elements of an organization's infrastructure, an ISP can offer new services, such as application-level visibility, end-to-end management, and automated fault finding. They can offer true end-to-end services, from the application to the user. We believe this is a major opportunity for ISPs and managed service providers. They're able to exploit their specialist skills in central operation centers and expand the services and value they provide to customers. Cloud management reduces the time and cost to design and build networks. Networks are now designed and managed from central operation centers using software tools to set policies and configure routers. Fault finding can use the latest AI and machine learning techniques to pinpoint the issue and resolve it remotely. This leads to significant saving in operation costs and benefits those MSPs and ISPs who have skilled, centralized operations teams. MSPs can also create new sources of revenue through new and more targeted services and create deeper relationships through more regular interaction with customers on their transformation plans and how networks need to adapt to support them. This is changing and growing the role of the MSP, making them a key partner to their customers. Huawei's Cloud Campus is a highly scalable and flexible cloud platform, capable of managing networks from simple single-site locations to complex multi-site organizations. The network controller, iMaster NCE, provides simplified management functionality with an easy-to-operate user experience and tools for intelligent operations and management, all based on Huawei's ultra-high-performance portfolio of routers, LAN switches, and Wi-Fi 6 access points. Cloud Campus is a very flexible platform with a flexible commercial model supporting it, designed to create maximum value and control for MSPs. The platform is designed for MSPs and supports multi-tenancy operations. We also provide an open set of several hundred APIs, making integration with a wide range of third-party management tools and applications simple and easy. Cloud Campus is highly adaptable and scalable. In one platform, we have built the capability to deal with a wide range of custom environments and use cases. It works for simple sites such as schools or individual retail outlets, where the requirement is connectivity, authentication, and basic wireless access. It can manage complex office or campus environments with multiple networks, user groups, and security policies, such as universities or hospitals. It can also configure and manage the full wide area network between branch sites, headquarters, and data centers, such as for national retail or finance chains, hospital networks, or complex distributed organizations. The Cloud Campus Controller, iMaster NCE, provides a full set of reporting tools, both for an MSP's own operations, but also as options for the end customer. These provide a high level of detail with standard reporting templates and visualization of network status by performance, by link, by application, or even user group. The process of end-to-end design and deployment is simple and straightforward, and there are a wide set of templates and reference designs. Configuration of equipment is effectively automatic. Once installed on site, a simple barcode can be scanned using a phone app, and all settings are automatically downloaded. This reduces time to deploy, reduces any chance of mistakes, and removes the need for highly skilled and expensive on-site field engineers. Cloud Campus also provides deep LAN and WAN convergence. It is now possible to design and configure the LAN and the WAN from the same platform. This simplifies the process and allows for end-to-end services and experience. For example, setting common traffic prioritization policies. The full set of SD-WAN capabilities provides a level of insight on application performance that customers have never had before, and reporting tools give visibility of network applications across a customer's infrastructure. These all sit on top of Huawei's leading IP datacomms equipment portfolio and provides an incredibly powerful solution for customers. This is changing the conversation ISPs are now having with their customers. Instead of separate siloed solutions, they can now provide a single converged view of a customer's infrastructure managed end-to-end. Cloud Campus also supports the convergence and unified management of Wi-Fi and IoT networks. The unique design of Huawei's Wi-Fi 6 access points supports a range of low-power IoT radio solutions, which are easily integrated into the access point. This combines the management of Wi-Fi and IoT networks, reducing operating costs by over 50%, but also extending the networking management and operations to the IoT network. This is a fast-growing area of demand from businesses, with a rapidly expanding range of solutions and partners in areas such as electronic shelf labeling, asset tracking, warehousing, and building monitoring, and major customer deployments in retail, education, health, and manufacturing. A key advantage of Cloud Campus are the set of supporting tools and automated processes for design, deployment, and operations management. These, together with intelligent tools for fault identification and proactive fault prediction, drive significant efficiencies and business benefits. Customers have delivered direct reductions in operational costs of well over 70%. In addition, faster fault resolution and reduced downtime have significant benefits for end customers and allow MSPs to commit to high-performance SLAs and premium service offers with high levels of confidence. Cloud Campus can be delivered in two different models. We provide a SaaS option hosted in Huawei's public cloud within the Western Europe. This allows ISP partners to launch rapidly with minimal upfront investment and to scale the platform easily and cost-effectively. We can even sell jointly to customers through this model. Alternatively, a partner can build and host their own instance of Cloud Campus with their own data center and architecture. This may provide better economics as customer numbers increase and comply with customer or regulatory requirements on security or data sovereignty. It may also be used to support direct sales or sales through their own channel partners. This platform is highly flexible, so customers are able to migrate from SaaS to their own instance even when they wish to make the investment. The underpinning of the Cloud Campus solution is Huawei's comprehensive and award-winning portfolio of network equipment, with market leadership in Wi-Fi 6, access routers that combine 5G as a core networking option, a range of high-capacity switches, and a complete security portfolio and a growing optical portfolio. Huawei is the leading edge of ultra-high-performance networking, with a selection of equipment to meet all customer needs. Finally, I would like to give an example of how Huawei has worked with an ISP to transform their business and create a competitive managed services portfolio. Our partner was operating with multiple vendors that provided separate elements of the customer network infrastructure, from Wi-Fi access points to access routers, but there were no common policies or configuration capability. As their business grew, they faced tens of thousands of CPE and customer equipment with no central management capability or visualization tools. Cost and customer experience were all being negatively impacted. The customer conducted a comprehensive review of the cloud management platforms in the market and selected Huawei Cloud Campus due to a combination of simple user experience, easy-to-use tools, and a wide portfolio coverage across all network elements. As a result, the MSP was able to reduce OpEx across all stages of operations and deployment compared to their existing model. They were also able to extend to a range of new, fully converged managed service offers across LAN and wireless LAN, and offer new SD-WAN services. They've also launched some new groundbreaking services such as optical LAN management, all managed by the same platform. The result is a clear improvement to financials with lower costs, improved revenue growth, and higher margins. The move to cloud managed services is a major market trend that offers a significant growth opportunity for ISPs. Huawei's Cloud Campus is a fully converged and scalable platform that combines a simple customer experience with tools for optimized operations and management. It is designed for MSPs and offers the commercial flexibility for them to deliver a wide range of targeted and new value-added services to their customers. If you would like to know more, please ask for a demonstration or talk to your account manager. I look forward to working with you in the future.
New business transformation always suffers difficulties and challenges. Best practices from our peers can help a lot to minimize the risks. Freek Pauwels, CCO of Belgium CityMesh, will share his experience and successful business story.
Thanks for having me on this. It's a big honor. Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit more about CityMesh?
CityMesh delivers state-of-the-art connectivity. As operator and integrator, and more to say, as a managed service provider, we have been planning and installing and maintaining high-end networks in Belgium for over the last 10 years. Next to our networks, we offer innovative solutions to reach the next level in every market we do. Our networks and solutions are custom-made, all according to the desires and needs of our customers. CityMesh combines a targeted approach with far-reaching innovation and stays on top of the newest technologies. If you look at CityMesh, at the triangle, we on the one hand have the markets, where we have entertainment, offshore, public, education, industry and enterprise. On the other hand, we have our technologies, where we have Wi-Fi, point-to-point, mobile private networks, IoT, more to say Sigfox, LoRa, LP1, Mesh. These are all our technologies. And on the other side, you have solutions. We have our CityMesh Connect internet lines. We have our private networks, our 4G and 5G. We have Wi-Fi Lab, our management platform for Wi-Fi. We have footfall analytics, the counting of people, to edge image sensors. We have Safety Drone, or Drone as a Service for first responders. We have Drone Hub. We have Sea Hub. We have our own made offshore access points. We have Flexbox, our total smart solution for cities.
As we know, CityMesh previously was an internet service provider, mainly providing broadband services for different markets like industry, government, entertainment, and offshore. What do you think about the movement to managed service provider in Europe? And when did you make the shift from operator to managed service provider?
So from that part, we saw that the need of a managed service provider was really big in every market. So we tried then, from that moment on, we tried to solve the problems as a total solution, as a total package of services, and that went from the gateway to the LAN, to the switches, to the routers, but also to the firewalls, and that the customer just paid a monthly fee or a one-off and a recurring fee in a managed service provider model, and we saw that that model really moved really quickly over the different markets. And the first one where we saw that it was really, really a big hit, we saw that in education, because a lot of schools just has like a person who is responsible for 10 hours a week for the IT, but the innovation and the technology that is entering the schools is so big, and there's so much products that need to be connected, and everybody is putting UTP cables in every switch. They saw that they were making loops, that they had more problems with technology than they were solving issues. So those managed service models in schools for the persons who only worked for 10 hours came very well, and they were really glad that we offered the whole package. And that went really quickly over all the different schools and markets, but also in the campsites. The camp owner was not willing to take all the calls and all the problems that there were on this campsite, because there was every time it's a situation where everything changes really quickly. The person come and go. They all have different models, different mobile devices, but they only wanted one thing, that was internet. So we try to solve that with a B2B and a B2C help desk, but also by taking all the problems away from those market people, and give them more solutions, and to make sure that they are having an extra connectivity on their campsite and on their exhibition hall, and not a problem. So for them it was a really big benefit to work together with CityMesh as a managed service provider.
Becoming an MSP is not easy. What are the main challenges you faced during that period, and how did you solve those problems?
In 2015, we really saw the transformation from being an operator to being an MSP. We saw that the clients, they wanted us to take the whole package. They wanted us to come over to look, how can we install the internet line? How can we do the site survey? Where are we going to put the cabinets? Where are we going to put the switches, the firewall, the router? Where do we need to put the access points? Also surveying the whole building to make a plan for the wireless, for the Wi-Fi. But also, after everything was installed and the installation itself, also maintaining and making sure we can help them with a B2C, a business to consumer help desk, and a B2B, a business to business help desk. So that was the reason that we moved from being an operator to being an MSP, because the market was asking this from us in the education and the exhibition halls. The park owner, he really wanted it just a solution, not trouble. He wanted everything just like water, gas, electricity. He wanted the internet, the gateways, the wireless, just to be there and make sure it works. And if there was something that he could call somebody, the end customer, and not the park owner or the venue owner. He really wanted us to deliver the whole package. And I think the most difficult part in that was putting all the right solutions, vendors, components together, because it's not hard to choose products, but make sure they all work together and they work smoothly. And if you upgrade one thing, the other thing still works, because the end result needs to be a smooth connectivity layer. So that's what we did. In the beginning, it was hard because not all components worked well together. If we updated one, then we had a problem over there, but also for the people from the help desk and the change management, if they needed to do something, it needed to be more unified. And over the years, we tried to combine, we tried to make sure we move to one platform. If we upgrade one thing, the other thing still works. So we moved to a uniform platform, and where everything works fine together, and where we can see everything in a graphical way in a kind of dashboard with proactive monitoring and all the things we needed that we can dive into that platform is needed. But if we need nothing, it works on its own, even with a little layer of AI. And that's how we moved from being an operator to a managed service provider, because the market wanted that flexibility. They were asking for it. So we as a company, we needed to adapt, and we needed to make sure that all the extra technology innovation that was coming into the world, that we could give an answer to that. And that is not just by being and giving an internet line. This is really by giving a network solution to that customer. Everybody has somebody on the side who knows something from IT, but the networks and they are getting more and more complex. If you are adding IoT or other connectivity layers, then most people have some knowledge, but to manage the whole system, the person on site he doesn't know everything. He has sometimes a big knowledge of storage, but therefore he cannot run the whole network. So as a managed service provider, it is good that with all the technology and innovation, we can help those people to give them a total solution, to give them a total layer of connectivity, and make sure with what the future brings, we can adapt and we can change that for him. So if we move and we see that, I think in 2025, we will see more and more of those things. Everything will be connected. Everything will have technology in it. Even your clothes will have chips, IoT, other stuff, just to know where they are, how much you have still of them, and what you can do with them. So managed service provider is for us is the future.
What criteria must a good service partner fulfill?
For me, that's really simple. For me, it has to do with one, the quality, two, the price, and three, the innovation or the future. CityMesh really looks hard to the future and the innovation and wants to be flexible and disruptive. So we cannot do that with brands who have not a big part of their employees working on R&D. So if you look into the market, I think it's easy to come and to see that Huawei gives a big part of their employees the R&D function, because they want to be ahead of the market. They want to look into the future, and they want to see and make sure technology works. And okay, sometimes there are some things that doesn't work, but if you are not trying, you will get nowhere. And that's the same idea, the same philosophy that CityMesh has. We want to be flexible, and we want to have a total solution, and we want to have a vision. And when in 2016, our account manager in Belgium, Hugo, he came to us and said, "Hey, Freek, I have an idea, I have a product in Huawei that could really help you as an MSP, just to sell quicker, and to make sure you have less work." And he even talked about AI, and that was in that time was a buzzword. Everybody wanted AI, but nobody knew what it was and what it could do. So we came along, and we saw that the name then was Cloud Campus, was ahead of the market. It was a future product, but the vision was right, and the vision was that they wanted to put everything into one platform, and it could be operated like in a dashboard. All the different switches, the routers, the firewalls, the wireless access points. And on the other hand, we needed the statistics. We needed to see what is happening, what is going on. So as an MSP, if there's somebody calling and having a problem, we wanted to look in a good graphical way to see what's happening. And that's why we came along with Campus Insight. And together now they are called the iMaster NCE. and they give us a total package for all the MSP solutions we want to provide. On one side, the MSP and the Cloud Campus platform gives us a really easy integration. We just put the Cloud Campus firmware with a QR code on the devices, and on the other hand, we can see the history of our clients and everything that is going on. And we wanted that in our two private data centers. So all the data, all the information stays within Europe, because that's also something that is really important. And that's how we chose Huawei, because they were far ahead of the market, and they give us the right vision and the same philosophy as CityMesh. We want to be ahead of the market. We want to have a good R&D, a good vision, and they told us for the next 5 years where the platform was going to, and no other vendor could give that to us. And still today, because in 2017-18 we started then with the platform, it is true what they said. Every day there are new components coming together, new functions, new tools into the iMaster NCE. So even the AI is working, and it gives us possibilities. If something going wrong, it says, "Hey, CityMesh, what do you want to do?" But also, and that's also really important, the multi-tenancy of the platform. So we have resellers, you have tenants, you have sites, you have site owners. It's really one big multi-tenant platform where we can choose what rights and what they can do within the platform, because not everybody has the same functions, the same skills to operate those platforms. So we are trying to make the best of it, and we are trying to be flexible for our clients.
Can you share some new ideas of plans you have for the future? And what kind of services would you like to develop and are attractive for your customers?
I think if we look at the future, I think unified platforms will be the go-to strategy, and we are not giving small components to our customers, but we are giving total solutions, and those total solutions will help the customer with their problems these days. But all those solutions will have to work together. A customer doesn't want 10 portals, 10 apps, 10 different things. It will be all unified in one platform. And I think that will be the future for the customer. And of course, yeah, the data speed and everything goes so fast that even the normal laws we know will not work anymore. The 5G is a good example of that, but I even think that if we use 5G, that the total capacity of 5G alone will not be sufficient enough to give all the connectivity. So all the technologies will have to work together. But I think that if we look at CityMesh, we will try to make solutions that will fit, total solutions with all different layers of connectivity. We will try to fit that into all the different things, like a city, like smart cities. We will make all different solutions, smart solutions for that cities, and make sure all the smart city solutions will come together in one platform. And that's also important, because otherwise you cannot handle them, you cannot manage them. And I think that will be the future, is the managing and the working together of all the solutions in one unified platform. And I think this will be something that most customers are willing to pay for. If you see in Belgium, there are now tenders coming out for unified platforms to make all the smart city solutions work together. Because if you have 10 different databases with information, one or another way, they need to come together to make the outcome of the smart city. And if you can make sure they all work together, like smart street lighting, smart parking, smart garbage, all those things work together, then you have a smart city. But if they all work standalone, then it's a hard way to manage that. And The city, if you look at my slides, you will see that the city existing of one connected bubble with connected solutions is for us the future. And one technology will not fulfill everything. We will need all the different technologies, all the different solutions coming all together as one smart city or smart world.
Would you like to share some tips and tricks with those companies who want to expand their services into MSP markets?
I think it's really important if you want to enter the managed service market is that your organization is ready. But next to your organization or your company, you also need to pick the right vendor because that managed service provider model together with the vendor will make for you the total solution. The reason I chose Huawei, I already said that, is not only on price, but it's also on technology and it's also on vision. And that's really important. And if you can make the platforms do a lot of work for you, and you can fit that into your organization, you're already a step ahead of the rest. And I think you should have you always have to look at the future and make sure that the new things that are coming, you can integrate them. So you need an open platform. You make sure that you have the flexibility to adjust and to adapt in the fast growing technology. Everything is changing so fast, and you have to make sure you take a lot of steps, and you have to think about those steps really carefully. But also you have to make sure that if some things change, you can adapt really quickly. And I think that's a problem of a lot of managed service providers is they have a solution, but even then you have to stick to the solution. That's not the right way for us. If the market changes, if a market or a business model changes, we can adapt, we can be disruptive, and we can make sure we give the right solution again to the changed market. And I think if you can do this, you will be successful. If you you are stuck to one solution, or even you're an MSP that doesn't want to change, that wants to sell the same solution over and over again, it will not work. And that's a really important thing. Being an integrator is making a plan, integrate it, and that's it. But being a managed service provider means that the client wants you to do a lot of things for them, and you need to adapt, you need to change, you need to make sure you have the right people and the right skills into your company. But you cannot do that with a vendor who hasn't the same vision as you. So I think that's really important when you want to come and you want to come into the market of MSPs. This is a little bit the story of CityMesh and being a managed service provider together with Huawei, together with their platform iMaster NCE. I'm still really glad that I chose that and that we move forward together with Huawei. My name is Vic Pauwels. I'm the CCO, Chief Commercial Officer at CityMesh, also one of the founders. If you have any questions, if you want to share some information, if you want to talk about something, don't hesitate to contact me. You can do that at our general info box, so info@citymesh.com. I will get the emails and I will for sure answer them. Don't hesitate. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
As we draw this ISP session to a close, let me thank you for joining us here. If you'd like to re-watch anything, please visit e.huawei.com. And of course, you're welcome to get in touch with your local Huawei representative to learn more. Thank you and goodbye.
Welcome to the brand new internet world.
So in this market, we do see their service provider focusing on data center.
As the world's leading ICT infrastructure provider, Huawei is continuing to be a fully optical and intelligent internet by providing connectivity infrastructure solutions.
The fiber to the X have become the mainstream access technologies.
At the FTTH Council, we are convinced that full fiber is the
The other thing I'd like to consider is, as this industry builds networks,
We have learned about Huawei's leadership in the
This blade OLT
The coverage, transmission rate, the length rate.
are all
Welcome to the brand new internet world.
So in this market, we do see their service provider focusing on data center.
As the world's leading ICT infrastructure provider, Huawei is continuing to be a fully optical and intelligent internet by providing connectivity and data center infrastructure solutions.
The fiber to the X have become the mainstream access technologies.
At the FTTH Council, we are convinced that full fiber is the
the other thing I'd like to consider is, as this industry builds networks,
We have learned about Huawei's leadership in the
this blade OLT
The coverage, transmission rate, the length rate.
are all